Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Alright, so trackies, it is conference season. Yes, so before we get to that all important NCAA indoor championships, first we have to get past the conferences. And one particular conference that is of interest to TXT Track Time is the SEC conference, and there are quite a few notable colleges or universities that are in this conference that a few Jamaicans attend, or maybe more than a few, but yeah, you get the point, right? So we're going to take a look at the teams or I'm going to tell you the teams, and then I'm going to talk about a few notable athletes that are in this conference trackies and what we could possibly expect from them here. All right, so trackies, we have Alabama that's here, Arkansas, Jamaicans attend. We have Auburn. I don't think there are any Jamaicans at Auburn this season. But we have Florida, Jamaicans are there. Georgia, Jamaicans are there. There's Kentucky. I think there's a Jamaican there. LSU, Jamaicans are here. We have Mississippi State, Missouri, Ole, Mississippi. I think that college is called. And we have South Carolina. We have Tennessee. We have Texas A&M. There are Jamaicans here as well. And we have Vanderbilt. So I think there are Jamaicans also at Tennessee. But yeah, Jamaicans are spread across all over the place in the United States. So yeah, I haven't caught all of them to date, but I'm still trying. Right. So with that said, track is clearly the notable schools. Arkansas is one, LSU is another, Texas A&M is another, Florida is one as well. We have quite a few Jamaicans, especially when you look at the men's 400, right? There are a few Jamaicans there, and of course, Georgia as well. So track is most notably, clearly, we're going to kick things off based on the title of the video, clearly with Brianna Liston. And what possible challenger she will have in the women's 60 meters, because right now she leads, the entire NCAA system when it comes to the women's 60 meters indoors with a 7.07 seconds, right? But before we get to, again, everybody coming together at the NCAA indoor championships, first, the sectional conferences happen, and, she's in SEC. So you'd be thinking, oh, she would dominate the SECs, but not quite, not quite, because as I said, leading into the SECs, there are a few athletes that I believe that hadn't shown their hand quite yet, and I was looking out to see the performances from these athletes, trackies, and you know what? At the championship is really when people turn up. So with that said, I do believe that Brianna Liston will have a challenger or a few challengers in the 60 meters, or at least one challenger I'm looking at right now, trackies. Let's see what happens, during the championships, because surprises always happen. But as it stands right now, I do believe that she, will have a challenger. Will she be able to turn back this challenger is the important question. Now, trackies, Brianna Liston, as I said, is the leader so far with the 60 meters right now with a 7.07 seconds. But right behind her is Jacia Shears, trackies, from Tennessee, and she has run a 7.10 seconds so far this season. So that's the athlete track is, in my opinion, that is the biggest challenger to Brianna Liston. So there's still athletes like Denisha Page that's here. There's also Shanti Jackson, right? That, line up here, Grace Starr. There are quite a few athletes that, can figure in the bigger scheme of things here. But the main contender, I believe, for Brianna Liston will definitely be Jacia Shears, not only because she has that 7.10 seconds, which is just 3/100ths of a second outside of her 7.07, right? But Jacia Shears' personal best from last year is 7.04 seconds. Though done at altitude, track is it still a 7.04 seconds. So with that said, she goes in as the fastest athlete if you're looking at personal best. And last year was just last year, right? So you're expecting her to come into this year and build on that 7.04. So she's definitely a live threat in my mind for Brianna Liston, and potentially walking away with this women's 60 meter SEC indoor title, right, Chucky? So that's the big athlete that Brianna Liston has to look out for in this particular section. Now, as it relates to Brianna Liston on that 200 meters, y'all know how I feel about that. I'm not particularly excited about her taking up a lane in the 200 meters, because it seems as though she can't really navigate it 100%. And, we are worried about the whole injury, concerns there. But with that said, she, doesn't fare the best in this 200 meters, because she's well done in the field based on the time she ran, and it was adjusted for altitude. So the time was, I believe, 23.16, and adjusted from that to 23, 0.23. So yeah, this website that I'm looking at adjusts the altitude. So for those who believe that, altitude is not a factor, it is a factor, because, this is one of the biggest websites that I know that track the the collegiate performances, and they, definitely, convert the performances for altitude. So that should let you know. But anyway, with that said, track is in the women's 200 meters, Jamisha Ford is here with her amazing 22.36 seconds. Amber Annin is here, with her 22.60. Jasia Shears is also there with her 22.64. I believe the time before it was adjusted was 22.57, right? There's still Shanti Jackson, 22.77, right? So there are a lot of people here. Aaliyah Butler as well, Jasmine Montgomery. So those are some of the athletes that you would say look out for, that are ahead of Brianna Liston right now in that 200 meters. So if she takes up a lane here, she definitely, in my opinion, will come against it, not only based on the speed already, registered by these athletes, but again, it's not something that she can navigate, I believe, to the best of her ability to allow her to unleash her speed. So with that said, I don't think this will be the best event for her. And I'm talking about indoors. When we get outdoors, she'll be able to unleash it. But indoors, I don't think this event is for her. Let's see if she decides to partake in the women's 200 meters. Those are the athletes, trackies, that she'll be up against. And these athletes have dropped phenomenal times so far this season. But again, that's the 200 meters. Y'all know how I feel about that. So let's keep it pushing. In the men's 60 meters, trackies, we do have a really good athlete that I would love to see what will happen with him here. And it doesn't mean this is the only Jamaican, but for him particularly, I want to, pinpoint, and that is Jelani Garden. Now, Jelani Garden came out running a 6.60 PB. That was all the way back from early January. We haven't really seen him, run again since. And he was like, you know what, timing, it's all about timing. So guess what? I'm looking out to see Jelani Garden here. Based on the times, again, are the athletes that he has to come up against. We have Favor Ash at 6.53 so far. We have Wanya McCoy, 6.58. Then there's Anthony Jordan there, and he's at 6.59 so far. So those are the three athletes that are ahead of Jelani Garden so far this season, trackies. So again, he's definitely in the conversation for me, at least, and I'm looking forward to see what will happen with Jelani Garden in this men's 60 meters. Now, track is in continuing with the other events. I'm definitely going to jump straight down to the men's 400 meters, where in this one we have Javon Powell. Now, Javon Powell has definitely been looking really good, especially in the relays so far this season for Florida, right? No, so far his best time in the 400 meters is 46.41 seconds. I do believe he ran faster recently, but the time was disqualified, or the race was disqualified, or the performance was disqualified. So with that said, it doesn't count. But ahead of him in terms of time, so he's at a 46.41, as I said. The person ahead is Caleb McCree, and his fastest time so far is 45.13. Though done at altitude, let me see what the original performance was. So it was 45.02, and it was adjusted for altitude, trackies. So with that said, he's definitely up against it in this 400 meter field. 400 meters is always something really strong in collegiate running. I definitely enjoy the performances from the athletes, and I'm definitely looking to see Javon Powell step up in this event as well, and hopefully, place well at these SEC championships. Now, track is one of the biggest races that I'm looking forward to from a Jamaican perspective is this women's 400 meters. Now, I've talked about my favorite athlete coming out of 2024. Outside of the expected performances, the breakout athlete for me, was Nickisha Price, right? So I've been enjoying her performances so far this season. She's run at 51.04 seconds, becoming the third fastest Jamaican ever indoors. Absolutely amazing for her. So I've been looking forward to seeing, one SEC, then indoors, to see what she does. So with that said, Nickisha Price goes into this SEC championships as the second fastest athlete overall with her 51.04 seconds. Now ahead of her is Amber Annin, though, and she has a 50.56 seconds. Now it's crazy for the athletes that have been able to dip below 51 seconds. Indoors, they're absolutely phenomenal athletes. But my thought process when it comes to Nickisha Price, I believe that, once she's pushed, she can definitely go faster. I'm hoping that Nickisha and Amber Annin, sorry, end up in the same, section, because the 400 meters is run in sections, right? So I'm hoping that, when they're seeding them, they're seeded correctly, and she ends up in the same race with Amber Annin, so that we can see, when pushed, what will Nickisha Price be able to do, because Nickisha Price has definitely been working on her speed as well, her 200 meters. So we definitely see her getting much, much better on in that facet of her racing. So I'm enjoying or anticipating what will come at these SEC Indoor Championships for her. But other athletes to look out for as well. Jamisha Ford is another one. Aliyah Butler, Kaylin Brown, Rosie Effion. So there are quite a few athletes in this 400 meters that are of really, really good quality. Shanti Jackson is another one, right? So there are a lot of athletes that are of really, really good quality. Jarmisha Arnold that will be lining up here that, Nickisha definitely has to keep an eye on. But I definitely think she is of, a quality athlete. And in terms of walking away first place, I believe it's between Amber Annin and Nickisha Price in this race. Honestly, I can't wait to see this battle. For me, it's definitely a mouth-watering prospect. So yes, that is something I'm looking forward to seeing. As well, track is in the men's 800 meters. We have Kimar Farquharson and Tyrese Reed here. Now you know how the men's 800 meters is. For me, I'm excited, seeing the new guys come through, or the younger guys come through, and actually, start to put Jamaica on the map when it comes to the 800 meters. It's slowly happening, but it's surely happening. So I'm excited for this. And of course, Kimar Farquharson and Tyrese Reed, we would have been watching them at Champs recently. I've taken up the gauntlet, and he's carrying that tradition for us in the 800 meters. So they come in here number 3, number 4 ranked in the men's 800 meters, 147 running. So let's see what happens with them in this SEC championships. So far as it relates to the fastest runner, he's at 146. So I mean, in terms of 800-meter running, that's a big gap. I won't lie. Let's see what happens when they're pushed. Track is, I mean, Kimar has already run against Austin Sam. So let's see, or Sam Austin, sorry. So let's see what happens, when they up again at the SEC Indoor Championships. But yeah, track is, the 800 meters is looking really good for, Jamaica indoors as it relates to the collegiate athletes right now. So that's something I'm excited to see. So we're jumping on down track is to a few more other events before I wrap up this SEC, what to look out for for Jamaica, that is. So in the men's 60 meters, we do have hurdles, that is, we do have Jaheim Stern here. Right now he's 5th rank, with his 7.73 that was adjusted for altitude. Let me see what the time was, 7.71. So with that said, he's an athlete to look out for there. In continuing track is, we do have in the men's high jump and the women's high jump as well. I'm excited for these two athletes. We have both Lamara Distin and Romaine Beckford. They both lead based on their performances for the collegiate level, right? Romaine Beckford with his 2.27 meters, and of course Lamara Distin with her 1.97 meters. So I'm excited for the performances from our high jumpers again, putting Jamaica on the map in these events that typically are not our strongest suit. But again, we're getting there slowly, but surely, and I'm excited. Another one track is Wayne Pinnock in the men's long jump. He so far is a collegiate leader with 8.34 meters. Actually, he leads the world. Well, does he still lead the world? I think he still leads the world with 8.34 meters. So really, really excited for him. Again, I don't believe he should still be a part of the collegiate conversation, right, Track, is because he's so much better than these guys, and he should just go pro. That's my thought process. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens for him down the line. But yeah, that's how it stands right now for the key athletes, trackies that I'm looking out for from the SEC Indoor Champions. This is not limited, trackies, of course, to the only athletes that I'm looking out for. I'm looking out for all Jamaicans that will be taking part at the SEC Indoor Championships, but I'm just highlighting some of the key performances to expect from the Jamaicans, or from a Jamaican perspective here. Anyway, sound off in the comment section below, like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.